Welcome. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Ginger Lou, and
I'm Greno.
and we are interviewing Rudolph Ciarfella. Sorry, I'm wonderful with names. And we are here in Ocean Beach at his art studio, and we're going to do a little tour and find out about what makes him tick. No, he's so what do you want to say about you?
Hi, welcome. And yeah, let's get going and get to know each other. Yeah, my name is Rudolph Ciarfella, and I'm an artist, painter, sculptor, and yeah, this is great being here. And thank you guys for keeping the ball rolling with the art channel. It's really nice. So it's my pleasure, and thank you very much for being here.
And I just want to say he was a member of the art, what did you call it? Paint night?
Paint night group, yeah.
For 10 years here in San Diego. And they actually even had an art show in Amsterdam. And they're thinking about having another show soon. So that's kind of exciting to hear about that. Maybe we can hear a bit about that. Okay, so we're going to enter. I will follow you.
This is great. We're interactive again. These are the shows that are the most fun.
Come on in.
Here we go. We're entering the artist den.
Thank you for inviting us into your house, Rudolph.
Oh, my pleasure. Aloha. Welcome. So yeah, this is my studio here in Ocean Beach, and
Wow.
It's
So vibrant.
great place to do artwork. You know, Ocean Beach is a bit of a vortex. A lot of great energy here. And I've been at this particular studio for about 3 years now, 3.5. And yeah, I've produced just about every painting that you see here. Yeah, every one of these paintings has been produced here inside this studio here. So yeah, I'm still working on this one right here. That's why it's on the easel. And yeah, so.
Do you ever paint outside? Do you have a nice outside area?
I do sometimes do drawing and we'll paint a little bit outside, but primarily I am like a studio artist because the light, even though plein air painting is really great, you know, getting the natural light. I'll tend to like take photographs and also you know, study, you know, outdoor lighting, but a lot of my work is produced indoors because it's you know, just, you know, I've got so many paints, you know, and it's just to be able to deal with that stuff outside would be quite a chore to be able to set all that stuff up. But I get whimsical sometimes to bring out the you know, the colored pencils and the chalk and stuff like that. And
yeah,
so.
I guess your colors are so vibrant and bright. I guess if the sunlight was shining on that while you're painting it, it might be difficult to see.
Glare is a bad thing when you're trying to do art. So,
yeah, I could see that.
Having the canvas, you know, with the light come across from the left to right, because I'm right-handed, even though I have painted lefty occasionally, especially when I had shoulder surgery. I was working on a big 4 foot by 8 foot canvas, and I had to, I just started it, and I had to paint it left-handed. So
ambidextrous.
So, yeah. So it's actually quite a nice way of keeping those neurons firing.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's very smart of you to do that too. So let's start here with this one. I see you painted it in 2016. What was the inspiration for this?
Well, the June bugs are, you know, they've been quite a sacred, you know, animal for the Egyptian culture, and that's actually like a rhino beetle. And it's just reaching on out to the universe in a way that I believe we're all, you know, able to grasp that there's something that's so infinite and yet so so part of each and every one of ourselves at the same time too. So that's what that piece is sort of about. It's about like a feeling.
Autobiography. A visual capture. Do you have any questions on that, Greno?
I love it. No, I think that his answer to just his significance was very eloquent. So thank you for that, Rudolph.
Yeah, and that's done in Barol Prismacolors, which are one of my favorite colored pencils to use.
I love those.
And that's on Bristol board. So Bristol board is also like an archival paper that's able to take pencils probably the best way of any medium as far as what I've explored. I've been to several art schools, and I've tried a lot, and this is sort of like what I'm doing now. This particular painting was inspired from I live 2 blocks from the beach, from the ocean. So this piece, I was passing this big century plant, which is this plant right here, and it's a good 16 feet tall. And I watched it kind of like get to the point where it was just blooming, and I thought about it, in a way that we all have that internal part of us that has this feeling like I'm blooming. This is like as far as like spirituality goes too. I mean, it's physically spirituality in a lot of different levels. Each one of us can have like this feeling. So of course I had to use our paint night group bird here, our little mascot. Matthew Forderer.
I was about to say Matt.
Matthew Forderer is a great artist friend of ours. Darren Cohen as well. Jim DeRock, and we all started doing paint night together. So, we've all been slinging paint for.
Who else was in that group?
Years. Oh, Chris Martino, Paul Basil.
And Paul Basil's pretty big time now as far as his not architecture, but he makes his metalwork. For a lot of the restaurants in Little Italy, and
great fabricator and great designer. So each and every one of us has got like this great gift, and it's a good collaboration. Matthew Forderer is incredible with doing like anything with computer. Jim DeRock, architect.
He's the architect
extraordinaire.
I know he worked on the library in San Diego.
And then Darren Cohen, great painter. And instructor too. All these guys have got great heart, great minds, and a lot of skill. So, I've used a lot of different imagery from other artists too. I mean, I've been inspired from a young age. My grandmother was taking me to the Museum of Modern Art, Guggenheim, the Smithsonian, all these things when I was a little kid, growing on up in the East Coast. So I was very fortunate to be able to, have a family that was encouraging and bought me art supplies. For mowing the grass for a summer, I would get like a box of colored pencils. They got a heck of a deal, But also, I got a very, very, that was a gift, to be able to be encouraged.
Are these plumeria?
Those are plumerias, and again, all these things are things that I get from my garden and from the walks around.
Do you ever use spray paint, or is this?
That's all oil paint.
All
by hand.
All oil.
Yeah. I don't use any spray paints on my artwork.
Gotcha.
So this is another piece here with this here. It also has the paint night, mascot here, and then I believe I also have it here done in another form.
Oh yeah. That's like me with my hummingbirds, I guess.
Yeah. So it's just sort of like an art language, each and every one of us, that are artists, develop like a language where basically symbols and colors have different vibrations, and they have a tone, and it's a language. And when I create a painting, for instance, this one, Gerlinda's Garden, that's my mom, Gerlinda. There's foreground, background, there's rhythm, there's repetition, and it's sort of like creating a song, so that when you're looking at a painting, it actually moves your eye around and bounces around in a way that you'll have like deep tones of like somberness. You'll have light tones of just being lighthearted and just giddy. And that's what it's about for me. Each and every one of my paintings has got sort of like a different sort of a tone. And
I have a question.
Please.
I noticed this shape here. I just was at Esalen Institute in Big Sur, and I noticed that they have these It's like
yeah,
the
that's the flower of
circle.
life. Yeah.
Okay, I was
Yeah,
wondering.
I'm into sacred geometry.
Okay, I noticed the
And,
geometry thing.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, here we go.
Metatron's cube on my forearm here.
I was going to ask you what
Yep.
was up with the geometry, because I'm noticing
Yeah.
this is a lot of circles,
Mm-hmm.
and then this one has a lot of triangles.
Yeah.
And then I was noticing these, and I was remembering that from the Esalen Institute.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew it had to be something. And this is your mom's garden right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
This was inspired by an artist, Paul Klee. Jim DeRock sent me an image of some of his artwork, and I've studied him. Like my grandmother had me into, as a child, into Paul Klee, Arshile, Gorky, Kandinsky, all these artists. They were, introduced to me at a very young age, and being able to see their work live in a, museum settings, was quite a gift that I look back at now and very, very thankful and a lot of gratitude for that.
Does this have a coating on it? I noticed it's kind of shiny, but it has like so much texture.
I do use a Damar varnish on my paintings after the oil dries. Gives it a little bit of a sheen and kind of like preserves it a little bit.
Yeah.
I do also like another bird. This bird is another one of my favorite artists, Francis Bacon. This was featured in one of his paintings, and Francis Bacon, I've been a big fan of his from an early age. And I also have his flamingo here in this one. So here it is.
There it is again.
Too. Yep. So,
what is his medium? Oil?
Francis Bacon, he did a lot of triptychs, and he did a lot of portraits. I do some portraits, like here's a portrait of Barbie, and this one is called Namaste Barbie. And this one is, there's a lot of different levels to this. It may look just like a simple painting of a yoga.
Oh, there's that again.
Yeah, it may look like just like a simple, portrait of Barbie, but there's a lot of layers to this. Of course, Barbie is, plastic, and Barbie is, the quintessential, proportionately, not accurate at all to what most women's bodies are, but yet these girls today are just brought up with it being such a format to follow with how they're supposed to be depicted as they get older, which is unrealistic and also is not really quite good for their self-esteem. But again, Namaste Barbie is, being able to look past that and be, able to, be grounded with being, part of this 3D world, because we're in a three-dimensional world, yet we're also, spiritual beings ascending, hopefully, so that we're able to work through all our karmic lessons and experiences in this plane, so that as we evolve, we're able to get to a place of acceptance in all ways.
I really like how this part really creates a lot of movement.
Yeah, movement is important in a painting. Having a stagnant painting where your eye just kind of sits still on it is kind of boring. Like putting things sometimes in the center can do that, but like for instance,
and the hair.
This one is sort of like a
the hair is really nice.
Stagnant piece too. But thank you.
Yeah. Wow. You paid a lot of attention to detail.
Well, my grandfather was an engineer, and my father was a marksman, and doctors in the family too, and stuff like that. So I was sort of groomed where I wanted to be a technical illustrator. So I do have a lot of that precise about me, but
that makes sense.
Being loose,
I can see that.
So being precise and loose at the same time is dancing that line of being able to have that balance.
Yeah.
So hopefully I'm able to pull that off where I do have a sense of looseness, but then again, attention to detail where it counts.
This one is kind of Kandinsky. No, not Kandinsky. Who was the one that did the? Oh no, the woman when it has the gold and all the different.
Oh yeah, that's
who is that? Is it not Kandinsky?
Oh no, you're talking about not Gauguin. You're talking about
sorry,
gosh, Paul Klimt.
Yeah, Klimt.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's kind of it's that Klimt
vibe
slightly.
This is sort of like
with the gold.
Klimt-esque.
Yeah, it's like yellow gold.
Yeah, that is wet, so be careful. And so yeah.
So this must be your newest piece then.
Yeah, this is a piece on Masonite. This is kind of like a follow up to Gerlinda's Garden. So this is yet to be finished. They still have to do some things in here to bring it to a level where, you know, once I go ahead and I put my RC on there, or the date, or, you know, whatever else. Seems like lately I've just been doing the RC, but sometimes I'll put the actual date on it. So you know, this one is still evolving. And how this one actually started, just like this one, was when I have leftover paint from painting, I'll go ahead and I'll use the palette knife to clear out my my palette, and then build up some texture, and then once I have that kind of like, you know, filled up or whatever, I'm able to dive in, and, you know, when I scratch away in some areas with the fork or whatever I do with it, you know, you get some of these colors.
I was wondering what you were using.
Yeah. Good old plastic fork.
I was clearing out and organizing my art supplies yesterday, and I had this tool that I used to use to scratch on, and I'm like, oh, I haven't used this forever. I'm just going to throw it away. But now I'm like, shoot, I should have saved it.
Ginger, I love your pieces, how you will utilize your, you know, your collage work with also like painting, and how you will put like, you know, like touches in there with different mediums too, which is very unique.
Thank you.
I really enjoy going to your collage show and doing that, and you are an extraordinary artist.
Oh
and
my
it's
God,
great to
thank
share your
you so
company
much.
with you, and, yeah, kindred spirits too, for sure.
Hugs.
So yeah.
Hugs.
Yeah, awesome. So
how about this? What's up with the car? That's like a different element for you.
Well, you know, this is called you know, California Paradise. So, you know, what's more California than a Porsche Speedster with
It's
the top
Porsche.
down, you know? And yeah, so I have Porsche.
That's what I say. Isn't yours red though?
Yeah, no, mine's black.
It's black?
Yeah,
Okay.
black on black. And it's not an old Speedster. Mine's a contemporary Porsche.
Okay.
And you know, I tend to this piece is, you know, kind of got like the you know, the
Birds
California
of Paradise.
sunset. Yeah, the California sunset, the giant bird of paradise. So this is, you know, just sort of a you know, a fun piece without, you know, much, you know, depth or really much meaning behind it, other than just something that's visually appealing.
Gotcha. And I see the Nautilus shell. That's
the Nautilus,
nice.
though, however, does represent something that is a little bit more special to me, because the Nautilus is definitely a you know, an amazing creature. First of all, viral formula. Like freaking bus.
What are these?
Those are some of the succulents that I've got outside. Of course, they use different colors. So this would be more like a teal, and these are more like pink. But I like to have complementary colors in some areas. So, you know, one thing about being an artist is that you can make up things to be what you want. For instance, yeah, this is definitely not like a palm tree.
And I see this repetitive pattern again here.
Yeah, that is my.
What was it called again?
This is the Flower of Life design right here.
Flower of Life.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah, and then there's also
It's
like,
beautiful.
yeah.
I love the texture.
Yep, the forks again.
Yeah. Smart.
Yeah, it is very, very textural. And you know, the price of oil paints, it's like the price of gasoline, very expensive.
It creates a richness and a special like depth.
Yeah, this one hasn't even been varnished yet, but because of the quality of paint, I'll use like Windsor. They're very, very you know, expensive, especially red and stuff like that. So people don't think about it, like looking at a piece of art. They don't realize painting like this has got probably about $300.
Oh my
and if you're painting on linen, you know, the background, if you're like painting on it, that could be like $100 size too.
Yeah.
I mean, so you know, you're close to like $500.
And this one's unique. This one is a different vibe. This one's a lot more like calming. This has a different like meditative vibe. Like where those creating like excitement and vibrancy and movement.
Yeah.
This
dear
one.
Friend of mine, and anyway. I wanted to kind of like capture it and have it around.
Yeah.
It's kind of like feeling a little bit, it was a girlfriend. She gave it to me on National Wedding Day.
Aww.
So I felt
sentimental. That's really sweet.
Especially.
But you get to have this lovely, amazing, sentimental, calming, meditative piece. And now it's beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, you see iridescent. Got there, and also work. Yeah, a lot of things that had a lot of good meanings. Like for instance, this king palm tree in back this thing is across the street, and this is a tiki that I actually carved tikis and totems. And this one is actually a 12-foot tiki that
So this is the sculpture.
This is a sculpture that I did, a 12-foot. Yeah, if you go on my Facebook or my Instagram or even on my website, I think I have some images of this for sure on my Facebook underneath the different albums.
This one looks otherworldly.
Yeah, this little totems are different than tikis because the totem features like animal spirits. Like this has got like, you can put an alien in there, which isn't really an animal spirit, but
it is now.
I got a tiki on the bottom, has a little bone through the nose, a little goofy gangster.
Yeah.
An owl right there. It's a raven. The back of it's got a lot of detail in there too. And this is a aloe plant from my garden with the paint night group bird.
I really love these palm trees.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I like that you zoom in like that because there is a lot of detail in my work.
Like this is a piece that you could own and appreciate seeing different things every day in it.
That is what I've heard about.
Yeah,
look at it and that just come to light more and more. Like there's my pet raven right there, or crow, tattoo. Comes to visit me every day, and very, very spiritual bird, very special bird to me. So
your muse is that bird your muse?
Yeah, my passion, my muse. Yes, my muse that will stay with me.
So do you have a website?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Rudolph.com. And
Ciarfella.
So this is the bonsai tree, the Monterey pine apple that I trimmed. I was arborist for many years, and I've worn many hats. Being an artist, it's hard to make just a living as being an artist. But I've been a master captain, 100-ton master captain driving tugboats. I've been a kayak guy, high seas and mountains.
Oh my gosh.
First mate.
That must have been a hard job.
All sorts of stuff. Oh my god. Yeah. So you got to wear many hats while you're being an artist, and it's part of the gig. Occasionally, I get an art show, sell commissions. I just finished a piece, and I did a couple of those this year. Love to have those. This particular painting is called Black with Rose, and this piece was inspired by the Hubble spacecraft photograph of the Rose Galaxy. So this is the actual galaxy right here, the Rose Galaxy. So I just
science and art meet.
Yeah, Rudolph's great. This is a my spin on the Rose Galaxy photograph that was very inspiring to be able to just look at that and see, what we're able to, explore through space and photography and just our imagination. Pretty amazing. I love it. So yeah, it's pretty trippy, pretty detailed, and fun.
Wow.
This is a diptych, 2-panel piece.
So you definitely have enough art for a show for the painting.
Oh, and I got plenty more for garage. Some of those feature my muse that we talked about a little earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wish I did have a few of those out here because they are extraordinary paintings, but they're just kind of too. I'm a sap,
Yeah.
I'm a romantic sap, and I love art. Passion everything. that includes my relationships with friends. Like,
Is this almost like Picasso or Salvador Dali?
and Morel, a little
Morel.
combination if you were to throw all three of those in the blender and
Yeah.
stick it on that canvas. Yeah, this piece is sort of like a, it's called Paradisio Manifesto, and it's about being able to manifest your own paradise, and as a man, so this particular piece is a little bit of a story behind this. A lot of we can just get.
He said his internet.
Oh.
Well, I guess he's dropped out, but we're still on. Bye, Glenn. His internet just died, but like the show's still going. Okay, so it's just you and me, kid.
All right.
All right. So how about this guy? Is that a parrot? And you live in OB.
Yes,
so
that is the OB parrot.
Ah.
This was actually a sequel to a painting that I did once twice. And a good
What
friend
kind of
of mine.
flower is that? Sorry.
That's a sunflower, and then I've got there's other flowers they're called like protea, and then there's a few other different types of flowers and a mermaid. Yeah.
It's like she's dancing with the octopus.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
This one's different. This one's checkers.
Yep. Yeah.
I love how you vary the colors. That's amazing. It's almost like pixelated.
I love how you so that's part of your thing too. I love it. I'm looking at what you're building, zooming in on, and it's just it really is doing the painting justice by doing that. So thank you for that.
Oh yeah. So okay, you have a couple more in the kitchen. I did sneak peek earlier. So we have this one, which is totally different than those other ones.
Yeah, that was a self-portrait Humboldt up in Northern California, where I used to go mountain biking quite a bit. And it's kind of like a impressionistic landscape, which I don't really get too into, but it's also nice to be able to explore sometimes in some mediums that in styles that you're not really quite comfortable with all the time.
Yeah.
But it's nice to try them on once in a while so that you keep your skills up.
Yeah.
Because,
do things that scare you.
Yeah. Like a lot of people, stick to what to record, but when I was an artist, for instance, very important to be able to paint like reflections, fabrics,
This is cool.
different stuff sort of thing. That's Bill Ernst. He does bronze skulls, and then he puts the real wraps on them. So that is actually a bronze skull by Southwestern Arts named Bill Ernst. E-R-N-S-T.
Ooh, the eyes.
Yeah, those are called.
That's so cool though. But they're like metallic.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
And that's a feather from, of course, Catching my sacred mascot for business every day. And here we have I'm a mountain biker, like you just seen the painting there, and that is a collage of bike parts that I made.
Assemblage.
Yeah, that I made with bound bike parts. So yeah, that's a. That's kind of
I love this line in the back.
Yeah, that's the mountain.
Yeah, that's super. It really if it didn't have that, it just I don't know, that just makes it,
Right. Yeah. It would look really different if it did not have that.
Just that one
silhouette. Yeah.
simple line.
Yeah. Right. that amazing?
Yeah.
It's like life, one little event, you go ahead and make something so grand.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, I even painted some parts too. So yeah, I'm actually a certified licensed tech. So yeah, that's it. The art here. So I think I got a book right here full of a lot of different drawings.
Yeah, people too.
Yeah. So these are some.
We'll go out in the front yard and show everyone your little.
So these are some original drawings, and some of my paintings will actually start off with drawings. This is a piece from last year, and
That's beautiful.
Yeah, this one's called tenants, landlords, and banks. So this one's sort of like a big hodgepodge of a lot of messy cycles that seem to just interweave with one another. And
Death and tactics.
Yeah. Right? And then here's some other pieces from way back when, 4 or 5 years ago.
Wow.
Yep. Here's a little dancer right there, a little belly dancer.
Nice.
And this is.
Some of them have a little bit of a Salvador Dali vibe.
Yes, very inspired, much so by Salvador Dali as I was growing on up.
So what is the medium with this?
This is actually very interesting. Yeah, this is an ink pencil. So ink pencil, yes, and they're actually used for drawing or writing on negative slides, but they're very expensive. It's like $25 for a pencil, and this is
worth it.
Yeah, the effect is just amazing. So it's
I've never
like
seen that before.
Yeah, it's called ink in a bottle is the pencil.
I learned something new today. Oh, this one's really sweet. It's cute.
Yeah,
It almost has like a retro vibe.
Yeah, thank you. That was done when I was up in Humboldt. And this is Banksy. Remember Banksy? The artist from England. So this has got a little Moreau, a little Banksy. So I'm inspired by a lot of these wonderful artists in our time.
And what about the Chinese dragon?
Yeah.
Is it?
That's my own.
Like
That's my own.
Multicultural montage.
Yeah, little Asian, East meets West. Yep.
Yeah.
This is another cool garden piece. This one is developed into a painting. I actually had that was
super Salvador Dali.
A 6-panel. This was developed into a 6-panel painting in a vertical format, not so much a horizontal format.
There's your bird.
That's actually a different bird, but close. Yeah, that's not the mascot, but I do love birds.
What is the meaning behind this piece? Is there a meaning?
This is a scene from a farm in Humboldt.
Okay.
And yeah, it's a garden scene. They've got the little barrel with the birds. It's a farm, it's an organic farm. And this is a giant grow light for indoor growers.
This reminds me of a piece of mats. Yeah.
Yes. All my paintings. This one, I believe, is definitely inspired from some of my friends. And that's amazing to get inspiration from friends. And of course, being like sometimes a black sheep, or this one's Q's Compound. My buddy Darren Quinn, another wonderful artist who's inspired me over the years. I walked through his studio and I just drew different things that kind of like caught my eye in his studio, and I made a collage. Yeah, he has these 3 mannequin heads.
I was gonna say, what's the medium?
This is a all these are 3-dimensional images at his place, or 3-dimensional objects rather that I
sculptor.
No, he's a painter. He's a quadriplegic artist, and he does a lot of work on the computer. Definitely recommend you check out his place, Darren Quinn, Quinn, and these are just some 3-dimensional objects that he had. Like this was a Picasso vase right here that he has in his place, and all these things were just around his compound. So I kind of like made a collage while I was there, but organizing it in a way that it has that flow, a little bit of foreground, midground, background look.
So are these
counting sheep?
Counting sheep. Okay, I was like, there's a black sheep. There's numbers on them.
Yeah, the numbers are sort of symbolic too.
Then
for
sheep
their,
is like could be like you're following blindly, like a herd.
right.
Okay.
But old number 11, look at him.
American dreaming.
And an inverted flag.
What are you trying to say with this piece?
I'm just trying to say that you know, American dreaming, and you know, sometimes it seems like we're just sheeple following the herd, and sometimes I feel like we are in decline.
So which one are you?
I'm probably 11. Okay. And then these were done at the same time. Of course, the colors are very, very similar. You know,
is that like a
this is called
lion?
Yes, this is called 10,000 Days. And Tool, another inspiring band, Maynard James Keenan, love that guy. And he has this song called 10,000 Days, or an album rather. And 10,000 Days, Another Dragon. Yeah.
Is it a Chinese dragon?
Yep.
Okay.
So 10,000 days is what he says is pretty much what it takes before you master something. So 10,000 days of doing something, and I think about the time I did this, I probably have had about 10,000 days of producing, creating artwork.
Oh, wait. Real quick. This one has a lot of perspective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow. It's like you're gazing into it.
This is a depiction of a farmhouse that we have up in Vermont, where I grew up, spending summers and winters. I grew up in the metropolitan area in New Jersey, just outside of New York City. But we had a place up in Vermont, and maple and oak, maple trees, oak trees.
See, this looks retro to me, like 70s.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's the subtlety of like the colors too that I like in this piece too,
Yeah.
like the ivory white with the white.
I think the use of the black and white, like the gray, the monochromatic gray with splashes of color, give it a lot more depth.
Yeah, and it's also like seasonal, how the trees are bearing over time. Yeah, some of the evergreens still are green there, but yeah, it's sort of
Wow,
like
this one's amazing.
Thank you.
So I'm just gonna throw this out there. How much would you charge?
I would say probably about $400.
Okay. Wow. Well worth it. Beautiful. What is this?
It says maple and oak, and that's in Halifax, Vermont.
I love your writing too. Gosh, everything about it is so precise.
Look at the little guy gardening over
clean.
here too. See that little guy on
Yeah,
his
I
knees
saw
gardening?
it.
Isn't that cool? So yeah, the detail is what about and every little thing, every little brush stroke, every little drawing stroke with pencil and pen. It's got some
It's like you're absorbing every artist. You're like channeling every artist all at once. This one's like Peter Maxey to me. A little Max-ish, a little bit. Like
yeah,
a
this one's
splash
a
of Peter
little bit
Max.
fun, a little
Yeah.
crazy.
Wow, that's so cool. I love it. Was that the end of the?
No, there's
Oh my
yeah, there's more.
gosh. Wow, you've definitely created your own style, like, blending. Wow, amazing. I really like the drawings. I'm so glad you brought this book out.
Yeah, like I said, into drawing, painting, sculpture, everything.
How long does it take you to make, let's say, this one here?
That drawing I probably spent a week on. Like a couple of hours here, a couple of hours there.
Mm-hmm.
So about a week.
The moth one is gorgeous. Does that have any meaning behind it?
Not necessarily, other than we're all seeking light, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
It's very like inspirational. Like there's something like it's telling you.
I did a series that you'll see on my Facebook. I did a series of moths from California moths, and moths are. I did probably about like 15 of them, and I need a calendar for each one.
Oh, we don't want to.
That one was actually published in a mountain bike magazine, and that one as well too.
Oh. It kind of reminds me of like old school Disney, that style.
Yeah, it's simple, like simple yet
Clean. Yeah, it's very professional. We reached the end of our rope.
Let me see. Am I not there are more? Yeah. That one.
The beetle.
Mm-hmm. And this is the golden formula.
I can see this is a mural. That's pretty beautiful on the wall.
Yeah.
Temporary art museum up there. On the outside.
I'm on board. Show me the money.
Ooh, sexy.
There's a couple studies from plants. Little bird of paradise and a little cannabis. This sunflower I featured in a lot of my paintings. I did this actual study in person life outside. It was a sunflower growing out of a pile of dirt next to a river that was blooming in a snowstorm, and I was just amazed that it was like just before winter.
The last man standing.
Yeah, it was just like, for me, it was such like a, heartfelt moment, and I just wanted to give that plant, some homage.
Yeah.
I feel like it could live forever, So I did. I immortalized it in, ink on paper, features, and a lot.
So you're kind of sentimental.
Oh, yeah.
That reminds me, after we had those big wildfires that went through years ago, I went hiking at Lake Hodges and it was just completely barren. There was nothing there. It was all burned down, but there was one sunflower
Right
by the lake. Like just, I took a picture of it. I didn't draw it, but that's wonderful.
Yeah, it's the same sort of.
Yeah.
Sanford Wilcox, he's a great artist, and he dressed up as Pan for a paint session.
Oh.
And I felt compelled to draw him. I worked drawing from live. So I like doing live studies with people.
Did you use live, like figure drawing?
Oh yeah, I've taken like 20 classes.
No, I mean for paint nights, you all.
Oh yeah, we do that. Yeah. And anybody who's able to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Want to play the bongos, if you want to, explore whatever. See, here's a sunflower.
I have to find that picture.
Yeah, that sunflower is featured in a lot of my paintings. And like I said, I've got a bunch of them in the garage.
Survival.
Got a bunch of paintings in the garage.
I love jellyfish.
Yep. And this one was actually.
This is kind of the fork technique, but
yeah, but this one's about scratching. Kind of falling away. This was made for my buddy Kenny. He died of a heroin, overdose, and he was just clawing and scratching away, and kind of like, just going through life. Eventually, and, this piece I was kind of working through my emotions, so growing up with him, being a childhood, and having him pass away. Will always be special in my heart. And we got some Zen. Love the Zen. And on my license plate. And that's my hand. My hand right there. That's right.
What is your all-time favorite piece?
Oh my goodness. I probably cannot answer that question. I love a little bit about each and every.
Yeah.
And in the moment that I'm creative, they are my favorite piece, and that's how the monks would create these mandalas. It's just about being in the moment. I think I'm just so thankful to be able to create and have this art, come out here for everybody to appreciate.
So I want to say thank you so much for welcoming us into your studio.
My pleasure. Thank you so much. And I hope this interview actually captures and gets aired.
Yeah.
We're having some Wi-Fi issues, so hopefully it's able to to get to you guys, and you get to appreciate hearing my voice, experiencing some of the cuteness of the True Blue.
Oh my gosh. So we are going to do one more thing.
Okay, what we're doing.
There's this swing that he made also.
Oh yeah, the famous Ocean Beach
We're
skateboard.
gonna close the shop. It's genius.
Well, Ginger Lou, I think I wanted to grab your camera and let you swing on it. Can we do that?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, which way is it facing now?
Here we go.
Okay. Get ready. We are going to see Ginger Lou swinging on the famous Ocean Beach skateboard swing made with a mooring line and a little mini skateboard. Here she is, looking as adorable as possible. Yep. Very cute. Don't jump right now while I'm in front, please. Or if you do. All right. Well, hopefully you guys all had a wonderful time enjoying our company, and thank you very much, Ginger Lou. You're awesome. Yes. Aloha and mahalo. Namaste.